Okay, we're back. This is what I'm requesting today. As you can see, my hand is injured. She refused to take it for me. Can I turn to here, Miss Davis? I need a Xerox copy of that, if you could, and just matter of fact, just read it to me. So my handwriting's pretty bad. Could you read it all fine, ma'am?
No, I'm not gonna read it, sir. I'm not your secretary.
I understand.
I'm not gonna read it. You give me the information, I'm giving it back to you. I'm not gonna read it.
Okay.
I can read it.
Okay.
I don't have to read it back to you.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, you are a public employee. And you work for the people.
I work for the people. I do work for the county people.
You work for the people, ma'am.
Right.
And the people own this building.
Beg your pardon?
The people own this building and own the county. The people do.
Okay.
So you're a public employee, and for the most part, you've been cordial with me this morning. I do appreciate that. Appreciate that. My hand was injured. I did ask you to write it for me. It was pretty painful to write it. You could have wrote it for me.
So I wasn't gonna do that.
Okay, it's up to you whether you do it or not.
Yeah, so I wasn't. We done finished with that conversation about that part.
Yes, ma'am.
So you wrote it already. So.
Yes, ma'am. I have a copy of it.
Okay.
And that get forwarded to where? Where does that go to?
I'm gonna pass it on to my boss and let her look at it.
And your boss is who?
Her name is Chavis Watford. She's
Chavis.
my administrator.
Okay, good enough. Thank you very much. You have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, so we got this for you request done. That was pretty much a tyrant. Didn't want to help me write this for you request with my hand messed up, but I thought I got it done. Beautiful decorations, eh? Beautiful decoration. Ah. This is voter registration, elections. Got a beautiful window set up. Morning. I think that's where you pay your trash bill. How are you, sir? Business license. This must be where you get your building permits or something right here.
I'm hard of hearing.
Is this where you get your building permits or something right here? Do you know?
Building permit.
Is that right? Okay. Okay. I'm just checking that out. Okay.
Help yourself, I'm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. You have a good day. Thank you.
Yeah. She'll help you inside.
Okay. Thank you. Fee increase. Okay. It's pretty uneventful today, except for the Tyrant. I may file a claim on that. On Miss Sabrina Davis. That is a question I'd like to ask her though, about the ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act. If I was to come in there and could not read or write, who would take the FOIA request? I want to ask her that specifically again. She avoided that question. Hey, how you doing? Miss Davis, I did have that question for you though. How you doing, ma'am? How you doing? If someone did come in here with a disability, maybe they could not read or write,
I'm
or
not gonna ask any more of your questions or anything like
What-
that. Now, you gave me your information.
I did, but I was curious what you would do about that. If someone had a disability and could not read or maybe could not write it and they had to give it orally,
I wasn't gonna
would
write
you-
it for you, and that's
I understand that, ma'am, but for
That's all I'm
some,
gonna say about the situation. You gave me your information.
Yes,
I'm gonna
ma'am.
take it and give it to the appropriate person.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all the conversation I'm gonna have about this, okay?
well, but I need to know about the ADA, ma'am. The Americans with Disabilities Act. What would you do if I was disabled and come in here and could not read and write, ma'am? Would you not take it? You going to refuse to answer that question, Miss Davis?
I'm not answering any more questions.
But what would you do? You have no thoughts on that? Ma'am, do you have a complaint form? Ma'am, do you have a complaint form, Miss Davis? Do you have a complaint form?
I don't have any.
You don't have a complaint form?
don't.
And where would I turn that complaint form in on you?
Right, it's like you wrote this down and then turned it into the Chagas Watford, the county.
Okay, so I could actually turn it into you then, because you turn it into Chavis.
But however you wanna do it, that's fine.
Okay, give me another piece of paper, ma'am, please.
Chagas, can you talk to this gentleman here because he's like almost harassing me and
I'm not harassing you, ma'am.
you are, and
Of course not. I'm just asking questions. How you doing, ma'am?
I'm good.
Are you Chavis?
I am.
Well, how you doing? First time I met you.
Nice to meet you.
I've heard a lot about you, but
Okay.
all good things. All good
Good.
things.
Thank
I come in and do a FOIA request this
Okay.
morning. Is what I done, and I couldn't really write, and I was asking her if she would take it orally, because I can't write. Other officers have taken it because I can't. At the moment, I can't write.
Okay.
She refused to take it orally. She refused to take it, so I wrote it out the best I could. Gave it to her. She did Xerox and give me a copy, and she's going to give it to you.
Okay.
But I was asking her what would happen if someone come in here and had a disability and maybe couldn't read or write, but wanted to file a FOIA request, would she take it then? She would have to take it orally if the person couldn't read or write or has some kind of disability. What would happen in that respect?
Well, in that respect, we would handle that situation differently than we would handle this
Mine.
situation.
Yes, ma'am. I understand
So
that.
we take it case by case.
Right,
Our
exactly.
normal process, though, is in writing.
Exactly,
Our
exactly.
FOIAs are in writing.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand, that you
Sure.
are
Yeah.
have an elder
At the moment.
At
At the moment, yes, ma'am.
But what normally, just like you're asking her, maybe somebody that could have typed it out or written it out for you, brought it up here, we could fill it. Because obviously we don't have a problem giving you the information.
Yes, ma'am.
But the information does take time. So she's working and has to take a certain amount of time to gather the information.
I
And she's
understand.
got to go through HR,
I understand.
get that information. So that's why we do
Well,
it, because it's not
Yes, ma'am.
as soon as you turn it in, you get information type thing.
Right, I understand. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. The law says you got 10 days.
That's right.
To respond.
That's
That's exactly right.
So-
So even if I had it typed out before I come up here, I had to add to the FOIA request. Okay. So what would have happened then?
Meaning add some more information? to
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Well, I mean, again, we got the 10
And even-
days.
and-
If you need it in writing, and normally, who asks for a FOIA request, they'll put it in an email, send it to
Yes,
the
ma'am.
various department.
You can. Yes, ma'am. That's one
and
way.
so
But I like to come in and do it in person. I like to see who I'm talking to and who's responding to me. That's what I do. Yes, ma'am.
But how we've done it, just hadn't had people to come in normally here.
I understand. Yes,
to
ma'am.
do a FOIA request.
Right,
So
I understand.
What
I understand.
if you needed to add to it, you would just add, hey, in addition to this information, could
Yeah.
you please provide? But again, that extenuates the time
Yeah.
of the 10 days because we have to gather the information, and usually
Okay.
we have just one person pulling that information together, and
Right.
probably normally doesn't take that long.
No,
but
and what I've requested is very simple.
yeah, we
Very simple,
still
but-
have to,
Yes,
get the
ma'am.
information.
And I know if you need an extension, then I gave her my email.
Okay.
And if you needed an extension, just let me know through the email for that. But even if it was written out, if someone come in with a disability and they needed to add to it, and they can't read and write,
We'll take the information.
you would
as I
take it
said.
orally.
Again, it's a case by case. If
Okay.
they had a disability and couldn't do that, of course, we're
Okay.
going to accommodate that disability.
Okay, I just want to be
Yeah.
sure that was clear. She didn't want to convey that. She thought I was harassing her, but I was just wanting a clear answer to that. Was
Yeah,
all. That
we
was
want to
it.
accommodate a disability.
That's
and
just fine.
accommodate, again, a case by case
Yeah.
of the FOIA request.
Yeah, I was hoping she would write it for me, but she did not. I wrote it the best I could.
Well, we'll take it
and
from you because I'd rather you write it, even if it's,
I understand that. I understand that. I've had other agencies though that I visited that did write it for me because it's very difficult. I got it caught in the wood splitter.
Gotcha.
And it was not fun. Also, so it's very hard for me to bend my fingers. But okay, that was all I needed. Though.
Okay.
But I've got. I'm assuming she's giving it to you now. Then
She'll
before
probably
your
give it to
request.
me. Yep.
Okay.
You got the contact information on there?
Yes, ma'am. Just contact me through my email, and let me know in 10 days, and we'll go from there.
All right.
Thank you very much. You have a good day, Ms.
You
Walker.
too.
All right, that was Chavis Watford, the county administrator. I hate to go back in there now. I done forgot I was gonna file a complaint on that Miss Davis. That was just uncalled for. Very uncalled for, very unprofessional. That's okay, we got it done. And we'll go from there. Stay tuned.